Rock salmon was a favourite in the 19th century, but at Caroline Thompson's chip shop, the menu's always changing. Hello. Hiya.
Hello. Hi, Caroline. Fine, thanks. You get over there.
Oh, thank you very much indeed. Lovely.
Thanks, Caroline.
You're Caroline, aren't you?
I am.
Tony's been telling me all about you. Come and join us.
I will.
I'm eating traditional cod. Are tastes changing very much?
I think cod is our best seller, although we do such a variety of fish.
Any new developments?
Yes, there are actually. We've got these. They're called ocean pearls, which is a mussel, deep fried.
In batter?
In batter, yes, yes. Mm-hmm. And then this is scampi, which you know what scampi is.
Very hot.
Everything has to be hot, but if it's dipped in the chilli, it's nice.
Nice, very nice.
Yes.
And should I be worried about all these calories?
You just have to say no to the cream cake afterwards.
My reason for coming to Pontefract is an intriguing reference in my Bradshaw's Guide to licorice cakes being made here and the root being grown in the fields around Ackworth. Some say it was monks who first grew licorice in Pontefract over 600 years ago. The soft, loamy soil around here was perfect for licorice's long roots. But I'm struggling to find any sign of licorice growing in these fields now. Hello.
Hello.
You got lots of licorice here?
Yeah.
Do they grow licorice around here?
They used to do years ago, but I don't know if they still do it. There used to be a farm, but I think they built some houses on them, so I don't really know for certain.
Hello, ladies. What do you think Pontefract is famous for now?
Pontefract licorice, yeah, but it's not as much now because all the fields have gone, you know, they don't grow it anymore. Which when I was a child, you know, there's sticks of licorice we used to chew and...
Close by?
Yeah.
The licorice fields of Bradshaw's day seem to be long gone. But one man, I'm told, has the last licorice bush in Pontefract. Tom Dixon, who's from a family of licorice growers.
Hello, Michael. How are you? Pleased to
Very
meet
well
you.
indeed. What a lovely house.
Well, my great-grandfather built it in 1810. He built it specially here because this was all the best licorice land in Pontefract, in fact, in the country. It is a Mediterranean plant. It came from Spain originally. That's why in Pontefract we gave it the nickname a stick of Spanish.
A stick of Spanish?
Yes, it's known all through Yorkshire and Pontefract as a stick of Spanish. Would you like to come in?
Thank you. Memorabilia galore.
Memorabilia. Right, these are sticks of licorice, Michael, that's just been dug up the other day, actually. Now, my great-grandfather used to send Queen Victoria a bunch of this once a month to Hosborne House on the Isle of Wight. She used to chew it all the time. And we had a doctor here from Manchester, one of the eminent transplant surgeons in this country, and he says, your family killed Queen Victoria. And I said, why? He says, well, he says, she ate that much licorice that she lost all her teeth. It causes very high blood pressure, which she died of. So he says, your claim to fame is that your family killed Queen Victoria.
That's a terrible burden to carry through life.
I know, yeah.
But I suppose, considering that it causes diarrhea, it would explain why she spent so long on the throne.
Good, very good. Never thought of that.
Tell me about this thing.
Well, there's a firm in Pontefract called Hillaby's. They got a phone call, I think it was in the late 30s. Could they make a pair of boots for Charlie Chaplin in the Gold Rush?
I remember it.
You remember it?
Yeah, I remember it. It's a very sad film and a very pathetic scene, isn't it?
He's absolutely down and out. He's nothing to eat, so he takes his boots off and he starts to eat his boots, and that's one of the remaining boots.
It's unbelievably realistic as a boot, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. I've been offered money for it by Charlie Chaplin collectors, but it's not for sale.
In Bradshaw's time, the Pontefract fields grew enough licorice to supply many local factories. When the railways arrived, it was transported all over the country and even overseas. But by the 1960s, all that had stopped.
That, Michael, is the last commercial crop growing just up the road from where we're stood now. And as you can see, the fields was full of it.
Absolutely full of it.
Right.
It became cheaper to import licorice from Spain, Italy and Turkey. But thankfully, Tom has his own local supply, which he's been nurturing for the last 10 years.
So here, man.
I'm guessing that is a licorice plant.
This is a licorice plant, Michael.
Some smell,
Slight.
but what you're really interested in is the root.
Is that root, Michael? And those roots now, because this plant's been in about 10 to 12 years, those roots will go down at least 8 feet.
Wow.
Massive big root ball.
Right. So when this crop was harvested, the whole plant, including its root, was dug up.
The whole lot was dug up. There was men in the trenches and they used to dig it out. There was no machinery, there was nothing, it was all hand dug.
And so then, what would you do with it?
It would be brought here to this house where you've had a look, and it would be stored in the cellars till the market price was right. Quite a lot of it was shipped by rail down to Boots the chemist in Nottingham.
And Boots used it in what?
They used it in stomach medicines, cough medicines, chest medicines, any medicine that you can think of, licorice was used in it.
And that was just to give medicine a sweet taste, or was it medicinal as well?
No, it's medicinal. It's used in a lot of remedies. A surgeon in London actually uses the root or the thin strands of the root when he's doing a cancer operation or a gut operation, and he sews them up with licorice because it stimulates the stomach and it just dissolves and disappears.
Tom, I think you've been telling me some tall stories this afternoon.
I don't think so, Michael. Everything I tell you is perfectly true.
Pontefract's licorice factories have almost disappeared too. There are now just 2 left, including the Dunhill Haribo factory. Until recently, it was owned by Richard Godson's family.
My great-grandfather bought the company in 1919.
Your great-grandfather?
Yeah. My grandfather and my father both worked in the business as well.
How fantastic. Pontefract's licorice was originally made into medical lozenges. Then in the 1700s, George Dunhill added sugar and created a sweet called Pontefract Cakes.
Here we've got a pan with all the ingredients needed to make Pontefract cakes.
But I'm not yet getting the distinctive smell of licorice.
When we further process the mass down the line with high temperatures, which will enhance the flavours and turn the mass from a brown colour to a black sweet.
The women who nipped and rolled the cakes were called Spanish thumpers and could make around 3,500 per hour. I imagine that your special recipe would be a very closely guarded secret.
Yeah, that's correct, Michael. Very closely guarded.
I won't press you on that one, then.
OK, then, let's go.
In 1994, the factory was sold to German manufacturer Haribo. It was keen to keep up the tradition of Pontefract cakes, and the factory now produces more licorice sweets than anywhere else in the UK. I admit I've never enjoyed licorice, but maybe a fresh Pontefract cake will make me change my mind. Actually, not really. It's just not my kind of thing, Richard. I'm very sorry.
Well, can't convert everybody, can we?
Well, I'm still not a fan. But it's good to see that licorice cake production is still in full flow in Pontefract. The Victorians wouldn't have had Moroccan sausages available at their local market. 21st century farmers may be turning the clock back, but modern tastes are for international flavours. Peter, this is a first for me.
Right.
I've never been involved in sausage making before.
Well, it's something that's been going on for lots of years. Salamis have been made for 2,000 years, 3,000 years. And what we're going to do is essentially the minced up part of the lamb, which is here. We've used the shoulder and some of the flank. And all I'm going to do is mix that in. You've got obviously paprika in there. We've got some salt and spices. And then we're going to stuff it out into the intestine of the lamb.
The sausage meat gets packed into the sheep's intestine. At a whopping 45 feet long, if I get this right, I should be able to produce over 150 sausages. You know those bin liners that you have to open up, or
That's
those
right.
plastic bags in supermarkets? It's exactly the same problem, isn't it? Presumably it doesn't take you half an hour every time.
No, probably a little bit of water, and we'll just see if we can get it to relax itself a little bit. So you want to have one hand on the handle and one hand on the sausage, and just feed it out as you turn. So it's a dual moving and dual movement.
Right.
That's it.
Whoa, look at that! How long do I go on for?
Just keep going.
Yeah.
And just keep your hand, as fast as you do that, it comes out faster.
I see. So I can just lay it down there.
Yeah,
then,
that's
can
it.
I? Yeah.
Maybe just hold it back a little to get your sausage full, so that you're not getting any gaps.
Yes.
Because you become an experienced sausage maker when that happens.
Yeah.
And then just keep twining.
Do you know, I never realised it could be that simple. Farming, like so many of the industries that I visited on these journeys, is moving away from the mass production of a previous era. These days, farmers like Peter are reviving the skills and traditions of their Victorian ancestors to create luxury products for their modern customers. There's always something sad about a disused railway line, and I'm old enough to remember tracks that I used to use being closed in the beaching cuts. It was inevitable, I suppose. The railways grew topsy-turvy in a Victorian era when people didn't have cars. The cheery thing is that today we don't talk about lines closing, but new ones opening. And there's a lot of talk that the future of travel is high-speed rail. But for today at least, I'll be ambling to the other end of the strawberry line. In its heyday, there were 250 strawberry growers here. Only 4 remain today, including fruit farmer Andrew Seegers. Why are strawberries grown here? What's special about the land or the water here?
Well, I think that it's because of the slopes of the Mendip Hills, the climate, and the minerals in the water. It gives it a good flavoured fruit.
How long in the year are you getting strawberries?
We start picking about the 15th of April, and we will finish in that greenhouse again with another crop of strawberries by the 15th of November.
Ah, that's
Yes.
a pretty long season you have now.
Yes.
I imagine that's much more than would have been, I don't know, 100 years ago.
Yes, we would be lucky to get probably more than 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Now we take it for granted that we can eat strawberries all year round. But in Bradshaw's time, strawberries were a special seasonal delicacy. For a few weeks of the year, they were picked and transported to market each Friday, the day after people were paid. As we're moving down here, we're beginning to see some strawberries now that are getting towards ripeness. Do you mind if I try that one?
No, of course you can. Beautiful.
It's absolutely fabulous. There's just no substitute for taking it straight off the plant, is there? I suppose, you know, the railways made it possible for this massive amount of strawberries to be grown in Britain.
Yes,
But I suppose it's the airlines now that are kind of killing it off in Britain.
Yes, what happened was that you could send a strawberry to anywhere in the north of England on a train, and the strawberries were much softer than these. So the train was perfect because you could put a strawberry on there and it was so smooth, and it would go all the way to the north and without being damaged.
The railways were pivotal for the strawberry growers, but they also kick-started another Cheddar Valley industry, tourism. When my guidebook was written, the estuary teemed with oyster beds. But what has become of that centuries-old industry? Hello, Ben. I'm Michael.
Michael, nice to meet you.
Lovely to
Welcome
see
to
you.
the Helford River.
I have to tell you, I love oysters.
Fantastic. Well, that's a very good start.
Ben Wright has been harvesting the river's oyster beds for the last 4 years. Well, what would the trade have been like in Victorian times?
Well, the Victorians were voracious oyster eaters, and the big market was really in London, and that was the time of Dickens and oyster sellers on every street corner. And I think what really helped the Helford fishery particularly take part in that was the train. When the train started up, that was a big opening commercially for particularly the oysters here that were sent up on the train, particularly to the big markets in London.
Hey, that really is exciting. What an amazing sight. So it's a cage absolutely full of bags of oysters.
That's right. So there's a couple of reasons that we lift the cages, Michael. really. One is quite simply just to sort of have a look at the stock, make sure it's growing okay, make sure there are no problems. As the oysters grow, they can grow together, they can get stuck, and they can get sort of stuck in the meshes of the bag. So it's really important that we come here once a month to have a look at them and make sure they're all healthy and growing well. And the other reason is we take all the bags out and we give them a good shake. It tends to wake the oysters up a little bit, separate them out. You know, we don't want them getting lazy. It's important that they grow well. So we'll literally just take the bag out, give it a good shake. And because this is our first bag, let's have a little look, see what we've got.
Baby oysters are nurtured in cages to protect them from predators in the river. Lovely wee fellows. How long have these been in there then?
These will have been in there 4 months. They're quite young.
Yes.
And already here, you can see we've got quite a difference of growth rate. So we've got some that are a little bit slow, some average ones, and then we've got a couple here that have done really well. You can see by these sort of long growth lines in the shell how quickly they've grown. And then what we will do at some point is bring all of these cages in, grade them all out so that they're all growing in the same sizes together.
So how long before these appear on my plate?
You're going to have to wait a little bit, Michael, I'm afraid. Probably another 12 months or so.
In Bradshaw's time, oysters were a staple food of the poor, and they were eaten in their dozens. By the mid-20th century, oyster harvests had begun to decline, driving up the prices. And these days, they're considered a luxury. The industry had some problems, didn't it? There was a kind of parasite attack or something years ago. Has it recovered from that?
Not really, to be honest. In the early 80s, all the native oyster fisheries were decimated, really. And that actually was the start of the demise of the Helford oysterage as well. Some fisheries recovered better than others. It wasn't till 4 or 5 years ago here on the Helford that we really started our work to regenerate the river.
The Helford oyster beds were almost lost for all time. But now Ben is gradually building them back. And it's only a short trip up the river to where the older oysters are fattening up. Here we are at Frenchman's Creek. I think that the British are rather pathetic oyster eaters compared with the French, aren't they?
Certainly we eat a lot less than the French. But I think, you know, it's coming back, definitely. More and more people in Britain are eating oysters. I think people are a bit more open-minded about food generally. They're a bit more inquisitive. And ultimately, it's such a natural food. They grow wild, there's no additives, it's a completely organic process. And they're actually relatively inexpensive. They're not this Champagne Charlie expensive image, I think is a thing of the past as well. They're perfectly good to wash down with a pint of beer and nature's fast food.
It's a pity that none of these is ready to eat.
Well, these are ready to eat.
These are ready to eat?
These are ready to go, yeah.
And
I'm ready. Are
and
you
I'm
ready?
ready too. What is your advice on eating oysters?
I think the thing about oysters is there's a lot of old wives' tales. And there's a lot of myth and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. To be honest, I think people should stop worrying quite so much and just eat them however they want. However, don't just swallow the oyster. I don't really know where that came from because you're going to miss out on all the texture and the flavour. I think you've got to give it a good chew to really appreciate all the complexity of the oyster. Release that wonderful taste of the sea. Oh, there's one for you there.
I do like to have them with a little Tabasco or maybe a little vinegar.
Personally, I prefer them on their own with a little bit of lemon, only a little bit of lemon, because there's a lot of delicate flavours in there, and I think sometimes things like Tabasco can be a bit strong. But then again, you know, it's
all a matter of taste.
All a matter of taste. There you go.
Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers, enjoy.
Cheers. Great textures. Not at all rubbery. Just kind of dissolving. Oh, I could have another of those. The Helford oysters are delicious. And in Ben's capable hands, I'm sure the oyster beds will be productive once more. As the Pakistani community grew, restaurants and takeaways sprang up to serve Asian food to Asian families. They quickly became popular with the English too. All along Ladypool Road, there are delicious smells tempting you into all the restaurants. I've stumbled across what looks like a party for another new restaurant. Nice to see you. Hello. Very nice to see you. Hi.
Here we are.
Very,
food as well.
My goodness, very smart indeed.
This is just opening now, today. First day's opening.
What, opening today?
Yeah, just opening today. Right?
Really?
Yes.
And what's...
How are you?
How are you? Congratulations on your opening. Very, very good. Sweet and salty and yogurt.
Yeah, choice is yours. Anything. You can't refuse. You can't refuse. I hope you like the Birmingham. Birmingham, you will remember the Birmingham now.
I will. I shall remember Birmingham.
Senior person,
The area is nicknamed the Balti Triangle because the Balti curry was invented here. And now there are more than 50 Balti restaurants serving the local speciality. These people have had to do a lot of adapting to a very different way of life. I feel a kind of empathy because my own father came from Spain, a much shorter distance of travel, but had to do a lot of adapting too. And as the people have adjusted to life in Britain, so has the curry. Many of the most popular dishes were created here to suit British tastes. But I'm also pleased to find a place serving more authentic Asian food. Raj. Hi, great to see you. What a beautiful restaurant.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Raj Rana owns Itihas, a restaurant aiming for, well, something a little more Indian. I mean, do you get cross with people who have, British people who have preconceptions about Indian food?
The problem is when it's expected to be in the direction of a Balti or a chicken vindaloo or a madras. All of these things don't exist in India. They're all westernized dishes. Pretty much created in Birmingham as part of the curry revolution. Where we differ from the Balti restaurants is we're not operating from 2 or 3 base sauces that make up the curries and the Baltis from there on, because Baltis work on the conception of convenience. Everything here is prepared individually, so sauces are individually prepared to the dish.
So, if you're doing individual sauces, you need excellent chefs. And absolutely. Do you have them?
I've got a fantastic team. I'm very lucky to have the team that I've got.
How'd you get them?
I travelled to India. I held talent competitions. It was almost as if I was Simon Cowell, and they were coming in, all proving their talents, and eventually I ended up with the 19 that I've got that operate the restaurant.
One of them is going to show me how to do some cooking, is that right?
Absolutely, yes.
I guess that's through there?
Absolutely. Let me take you through.
Thank you. Raj held auditions in India to staff his restaurant. But he'd like to train the next generation of chefs here. His next big plan is to open the first curry school in Britain to teach the art of bona fide Indian cuisine. I'm his first pupil. Come into my kitchen. This is a couple who's going to teach me how to cook. Thank you so much. I have warned you that I don't know what I'm doing.
Just add some mustard seeds in it, please.
Right. Mustard seeds like that?
Yes, yes.
Keppel's showing me how to make a king prawn curry from Kerala in southern India, a traditional dish that uses curry leaves and turmeric.
Can you just stir it with your spoon, please? Faster, you have to move your pot faster, it will burn otherwise.
Oh, right, okay.
As if you're telling somebody off.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful prawns. It feels like everything's moving very fast, you know? Like I'm not really in control.
Put some coriander and we can take out the dish, please.
Put some coriander.
Fresh coriander?
Oh, there you go. Oh, yes.
That's it. That's done. Beautiful.
What, that's done?
Yes, beautiful.
If you just carry the wok over to here.
This is a wok on the wild side now.
Yeah. There's a plate for you. You can put your prawns here.
Try and make this quite elegant.
Yes.
Couple, we're going to let you be guinea pig.
Thank you very much. God bless me. Very good, sir. Very good for the first try.
The first try. There's nothing to do with me, couple, but that is fantastic.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
Very relishing. It's very, very fresh, and the spices don't hit you like they do. It's not spicy, but it's flavorful with the things, you know.
That's what I meant to say. If Raj's chef's school is a success, it will ensure that the traditional Indian curry is preserved in Britain for the next generation. The area around Melton Mowbray promotes itself as a centre of gastronomic excellence, a reputation launched by Stilton. That magnificent blue cheese dates back at least to the 18th century, but the railways magnified the business. In the second half of the 19th century, many new dairies sprang up to meet increased demand. Webster's Dairy, which opened in 1890, is in production still. Manager Mark Frapwell has worked here for 27 years.
Hello, you're Mark.
Yes.
I'm Michael.
Morning, nice to meet you.
How do you do? So I see your cheese making is well underway here.
Yes, we've been working hard this morning and bringing the milk in.
Why did it all happen here? Why did Stilton cheese happen in the area of Melton Mowbray?
A rich farming area, excellent pastures, good climate, so a traditional dairy area. Farmers' wives would make cheese. At some point, blue cheese became more popular or certainly commanded more money. Without modern methods, it was actually very difficult to make cheese go blue, which once you'd learned, you didn't tell people about it. So they kept within the Melton area the secrets of how to make blue cheese, because that commanded a greater price.
To create Stilton's characteristic blue veins, a special mould is added.
I mean, that tiny amount into this enormous vat makes everything happen.
That's right.
Then the cheese is packed into cylindrical hoops to mature. Webster's is one of only 6 producers licensed to make Stilton. To be allowed to use the name, they're bound to follow a precisely stipulated method.
The hoops are removed and the cheese is smoothed with a knife. This is Amy.
Hello, Amy.
Hello.
So what are you doing there?
Basically, it's just to keep the blue inside of the cheese.
To keep the blue inside the cheese. So you're, as it were, removing the holes on the outside, are you?
Yeah.
You turned that very well. Did you get that right the first time you tried it?
No.
I can't turn an omelette, let alone a thing like that.
It takes a lot of practice.
It takes a lot of practice, I bet it does.
Proper Stilton is made only in Derbyshire, Nottinghamshire and Leicestershire. But strangely, it takes its name from a village in Cambridgeshire.
Now, I've come to the village of Saxelby, but this is Stilton cheese. Why is it called Stilton?
Because Stilton was sold mostly from the village of Stilton, which was on the old Great North Road, and it was the main point from Melton Mowbray to deliver your cheese to London.
So that was in the days when it went by road, when it went by stagecoach?
That's correct, yes.
And then after that, obviously it went by railways. Were the railways an advantage to Stilton?
I think so, yes. Stilton, compared with other cheeses, is a lot more problematic. It's much softer, it's prone to weep and deteriorate if it's not transported quickly.
So the faster it goes, the better it is?
Yes.
The more places it can reach?
That's right, yes.
The railways allowed city-dwelling Victorians to enjoy Stilton in peak condition for the first time, and it became a favourite luxury for Christmas and special occasions.
Why do you think it's associated with Christmas?
Because sometimes some of the best milk is from what we call second bite of grass, which is the second growth after the summer. That would produce very good September milk. And also calving would then happen, which would produce a higher protein content. Therefore, that cheese would be perfect for Christmas.
And a thing that if you're going to have once a year, you can only afford it once a year, Christmas is a perfect time.
Be the time to have it, yes.
Pile up your table with luxury goods.
It takes 8 weeks for the cheese to develop its blue veins. Then it's ready to taste.
They're all brought upstairs.
Into this extremely pungent room. Wow,
yes,
what a
the
smell
ammonia.
of cheese. Ammonia, is it?
Yes, and hopefully the cheese are ready for grading by putting the iron in and turn, and you can see all that blue growing.
And I can just sample that?
You can, yes. Yep. And if you take a little bit of thumb off that end.
Just off there. But you've got a winner there, that's lovely.
It'll be even better in about 2 or 3 weeks' time.
Really? It gets better still, does it?
Yes, it will.
That taste makes me crave more. but I must abstain because Stilton isn't the only local delicacy. In Bradshaw's time, trains leaving for London were also packed with the town's famous pork pies, cooked in the bakehouses surrounding the station. With Stilton and pork pies exported from Melton Mowbray to the rest of the country, I'd like to know whether locals appreciate them. Are you a fan of Stilton and pork pies?
I'm a big fan of pork pie, but Stilton's not my favourite. It's a little bit bitter.
No, I don't like Stilton cheese and don't like pork pies.
I thought if you lived in Melton Mowbray, it was kind of compulsory to like both.
No.
I don't like Stilton cheese, I'm afraid. The Stilton cheese is nice. I'm vegetarian, so I don't eat meat.
OK, so no pork pies for you?
No.
And no Stilton cheese for you?
No, I'm afraid not. So you can try both.
What about the pork pies?
The pork pies are nice from Melton.
Thank you.
OK, enjoy.
The evolution of Stilton and pork pies alongside each other isn't a coincidence. It goes back to Bradshaw's era, and it's connected with hunting. Farmer Ian Jalland can explain.
Ian.
Hello, Michael.
Lovely to see you. What a beautiful looking shop.
Thank you.
Full of temptations, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
But you're famous for your Melton Mowbray pork pies. How long have they been around?
Well, Melton Mowbray pork pies have been around for 200 or 300 years.
Historically, why were there pork pies here?
Well, Leicestershire is a grassland county. There's a lot of livestock. Stilton cheese became quite a big industry, and a byproduct of the production of Stilton cheese was whey. And whey was fed to the pigs. So there's a lot of pigs, a lot of pork, and people decided good use of that was to make a pie.
Now, I'm always interested in railways, so railways were pretty important for pork pies here, were they?
Well, it was the railways that it brought the hunting fraternity from London to Melton Mowbray. The hunt servants often carried these pies in their pockets, to keep them going on a hard day's hunting and looking after their master. And the aristocrats from London noticed that they were eating these pies and tried them, liked them, thought they were great, and started taking them back to London by train, and hence the popularity of the Melton Mowbray pork pie.
Now, I saw as I came in that you are looking for a pie maker, and I thought I might offer my services.
Right, well, we've been trialling apprentices for a while now, so yeah, I'm sure Lee would like to entertain you as an apprentice pie maker.
Should we put on funny clothes?
Yep, follow me. Right.
Ian's Bakery is one of just 9 still making traditional Melton Mowbray pork pies.
Michael, this is Lee, our head of production.
Hello, Lee.
Hi, Michael.
These pies are special because they're not baked in a tin, but moulded round a wooden dolly.
You place your dolly into the centre of your pastry. And just start lifting the pastry up. As you're lifting it, you want to be turning your pastry.
Right, that's going nicely. Yeah.
Most pork pies are factory produced, but here, to this day, they're made by hand.
Because what you need to do now is you want to release the pastry from off the dolly.
Oh, right. You're a bit quicker than I am. OK.
It's all practice.
Yeah, I know. OK.
Nice pizza.
Pretty much.
That's it.
Oh dear, mine doesn't look like yours, but never mind.
Whilst most pork pies contain cured meat, a traditional Melton Mowbray pie contains fresh pork. When it's cooked, the filling looks grey, not pink.
You throw it in to take all the air out.
Ooh, right, OK.
That's fine. Then what you do with your lid, you place your lid on top of your meat. And then you want to carry that going around all the way around your pie.
Crimping. Are you pulling faces?
No.
Oh my goodness,
good job it's a 3-year apprenticeship.
Right. A couple of little holes have sprung up there, all right.
It takes skill and a light touch to make the perfect pie. Qualities I fear have passed me by.
One ours.
Right, mine are not...
Yours has one.
Can you stop laughing, Ian, please?
My pie is a sorry sight, disgraced by the perfection of Lee's.
Now this doesn't go in a tin, it just bakes as it is.
Yeah, that's why you get such a crisp finish when you're cutting the pie. You see how it crunches as you was cutting through it. And that's what gives you the taste.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Impeccable. Well, my Bradshaw's guide said that a Melton Mowbray pork pie was a valuable production, and indeed it is.
Super. Thank you very much.
really, what was the village of Eccles has changed a lot since Bradshaw's guide. But the guide also notes that Eccles is celebrated for its cakes, and that hasn't changed at all.
Ian Edmondson is the production director of Lancashire Eccles Cakes.
How long has your family been involved in making Eccles cakes?
I suppose it started in the 1920s when my granddad, he went around the local baker's shops buying cakes, and then he'd put them on his horse-drawn cart and he'd sell them at the local shops on the corners of the streets of Manchester. And then the family decided it would be better if they actually made the cakes, so they set a bakery up making the cakes.
Can we see how they're made?
Of course, yes. First I'll show you the ingredients. As you see here, this is the most important ingredient in Eccles cake, is a really, really good quality currant. These are Vostitza, and they're from a place in Aegion in Greece. You'll see it says, protected designation of origin. Now, this is just like champagne, where they don't allow another grape to come out of that area.
Yes.
This is the same with here.
A guarantee of quality.
Yes, it is.
And then we've got sugar?
Yeah, just simple ingredients. That's all that's in the product.
More
it's
currants.
sugar, more currants, brown sugar.
Brown sugar.
A bit of salt.
Salt.
And lots of butter.
Wow, it's a whole different world, isn't it?
I know, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
What would it have been like here, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago?
Well, the way that they made the cake 60-odd years ago would have been got a big round table, big pile of currants in the middle. Everyone gets a little bit of pastry, puts it in and then starts folding it into a little dolly bag and then knocking it in rings and then putting them on trays. So quite inefficient compared to how we make them now.
Yeah, because now it's all coming down the process line. Hi.
Hi.
That looks quite complicated.
No, it's easy really. Just put all four corners to the middle,
yeah,
and then the sides and all.
Okay.
If you like to have a go, if you like to put these gloves on. I wish you luck anyway.
Yeah, surgeon's hands. So 4 corners into the middle, and then fold the side bits in as, oh Lord, oh, that's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
Yeah.
And once they come off the line there, they get baked in these ovens, taken out and taken into the packing room for cooling them packing.
This is where you really get the strong smell of the Eccles cake, isn't it?
Yeah, you get that fantastic smell. It's all the flavours coming together of the ingredients.
How many Eccles cakes are you producing?
We're producing about 150,000 Eccles cakes a day. In fact, it's one of the most, it's probably in the top 6 most popular cakes.
That's about 40 million a year or something.
Yes, I'll take your word for that. Would you like to try a real Lancashire Eccles cake?
I thought you'd never ask. Yes, please. Lovely aroma. Beautifully folded, by the way.
Is it one of yours?
No. It's wonderful. It's wicked. It's look at this lovely row of currants inside.
Can you taste the butter and the sugar?
Are you kidding? Of course I can. Absolutely buttery and sugary. I'm really pleased to have looked into this very historic cake. Centuries of history in this cake.
Yeah, and the fantastic thing about it is this, it's the only Eccles cake you'll get in a supermarket that's made within 5 miles of Eccles.
The genuine article?
Of course, yes.
The delicious pastries became so popular, they were transported to markets up and down the country by train and sold on station platforms. They were even exported to America and the West Indies and were laced with brandy to help them last the journey. But that method of preservation got the cakes into trouble.
The apparently innocuous Eccles cake has been associated with merrymaking. So much so that at one time Cromwell banned the Eccles cake, and it got into trouble again in the 19th century because they used to put brandy in the cakes, and it's thought that one railway driver got so drunk on eating Eccles cakes that he fell off his footplate, and thereafter the sale of liquor and the sale of Eccles cakes was banned at all the stations around Eccles.